How's it going, guys? White Rabbit here. I'm sure that many of you by this point have probably seen the last video that I posted in regards to the recent controversy surrounding Round Saturn's eye. Now, just a few minutes ago, he reached out, contacted me, and opted for the chance for me to interview him so that he can kind of explain himself. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to try and ask, some of the hard-hitting questions. I'm going to try and get this thing sorted out, one way or the other here, and we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Oh, and we also have Sean Y. Joining us. Say hi, Sean.
Hi, how's it going?
And of course, Round Saturn's eye.
You all right? Yeah, a little disappointed that people are uploading videos without sort of. I know you said you reached out to me, but obviously I didn't see that. But I mean, it's just getting a bit out of hand, and obviously so many rumours just being blown out of proportion. It's just getting ridiculous. And obviously we're in this to look at the truth of what's going on, but this is just becoming a bit of a big distraction.
Here, I guess since we're starting off with not being able to get in touch with each other. I mean, I messaged you on both of your Skype accounts and both of your YouTube accounts, so I don't know why you wouldn't have been able to see them.
The Skype accounts are probably different because I've had to change that a few times, but the YouTube, yeah, sorry, I haven't checked. I can't have seen that, sorry, but I know, I understand, but it is really getting out of hand, just the amount of people getting involved with this and how everything's just been twisted. But we'll get into that, I suppose.
Well, now, I tried to be as diplomatic as I possibly could in that last video, but, I mean, you're kind of backing me into a corner here, buddy. There's a bunch of stuff coming out about you. I've promoted you on my channel countless times, and, at some point I have to say something, you know what I mean? And if I can't get a hold of you, then, what do you expect me to do?
Yeah, fair enough. I understand that, but it's as I say, it's just there's been so many channels involved. It's just getting a bit out of hand. So that's why we need to talk about it. And certainly no hard feelings to anyone, and even to the ones that started this whole charade. No hard feelings to those people. Vengeance is the Lord's, and obviously He knows what's happened, and I know what's happened, and they know what's happened. I can't blame people like yourself so much, other than maybe reacting a bit too fast, slightly. But obviously it's not your fault. But there are some individuals that know exactly what's going on, and that this is just a smear campaign launched by those individuals. So.
All right. Mario is currently messaging me on Facebook and wants me to play a little audio clip here. He wasn't able to make the actual interview. So I haven't listened to this. We'll see what it says.
Hey, White Rabbit and RSC. Thank you so much for allowing me an opportunity to join and give or ask a question. RSC, man, there's a lot going around, and you're obviously aware of that, and man, you're dealing with a lot. I understand that. But you need to understand as well that the fact that you've kept a lot of this secret has left a lot of room for suspicion, a lot of room for people to make assumptions. I want to know, man, why you haven't been upfront with all of us since the beginning. Really, man, if you're ashamed, you don't need to be ashamed of your past life before Christ, man. If you're a homosexual, you practice that lifestyle, you're an occultist, you're in the media, none of that stuff matters when you're born again in Christ. Why is it, bro, that you decided that it would be best to keep that away from us and not use that testimony? Because to me, I don't understand that, man. So if you can answer that question, I appreciate it. Thanks, man.
All right, did you catch all that?
Was that Mario? Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, I caught the last end of that. Partly because as he said, it doesn't matter when you're born again in Christ, and my past is my past, and it's my past, and I'm sure there's a lot of things you wouldn't read out to your viewers, and that's exactly why I didn't, because I knew this is the sort of judgmental reaction that it would have.
I don't think the issue is necessarily that you have sinned in your past. The problem that I think most people are having is concern on whether or not you are still, you know, for one, battling with this sin, and if so, why weren't you forthcoming with that in your testimony video when all these, you know, when all these things first started to emerge? Why didn't you just come clean then?
Because it's not my job to list everything I've done wrong. Sorry, you're echoing a bit.
Oh, hold on a sec.
Maybe try.
All right, is that better?
Sorry, one sec.
Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello?
Yep.
Sorry about that.
No worries. So, you still there?
Yeah.
So the question is, I guess, first and foremost, this was kind of the big bombshell that was shown to me last night, and that was that documentary where apparently it shows that you had at one point a boyfriend.
Yeah, on the inside my mind.
Right. So that would indicate that you were at one point living a homosexual lifestyle, and the question is, are you still engaging in that lifestyle, or is that something that you've given up?
Well, I have to say it feels great to be sort of on trial from the whole truth movement. I mean, it is literally, the truth movement has literally turned on a truther, which is rather strange. But if that's the way it's supposed to be, that's fine. I understand that people have got questions, but no, that was literally years and years ago now, and it's my past. I mean, I'm sure there's things you haven't told people from your past, and as I say, I'm forgiven. The Father has forgiven me. Jesus died for me. He paid the price for those sins, and it is not up to men to judge me for the past. And at the end of the day, sin is sin. I even make videos exposing the gay marriage agenda, all of that kind of thing. I'm not of the opinion that that is a good and healthy lifestyle, which is why I asked for forgiveness, and he led me out of it. So some people are very some people are very judgmental about certain sins. They think that that's a bit worse than any other, but unfortunately, you know, all sin is sin, and I have repented and I've moved on from that confusing, self-destructive period of time, and I would never go back to that or advocate that as good at all.
I think that's what people want to hear. I mean, it's not right that you've been pulled into this situation, and I don't think that you should have to come out and tell everybody this. I think it's just because of, you know, who you are. You're a big channel. This stuff has gotten out, and now because you kind of didn't use this as a testimony for the Lord, people are using that against you. And I'm not saying that's right, but it's just, I think people feel, you know, because you talk so much about Saturn, so much about the cube, and, you know, it's because you're knowledgeable about it. I think people are looking at as occultist, and then this comes out, and I think people are afraid, like, hey, you know, if he's hiding this, which is your right, you know, no.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, that was the other thing. Yeah, sorry. The other thing Mario said. Yeah, I've never kept it to myself that I was interested in the occult at one point. I never became a full-blown occultist or Satanist. I didn't learn anything in that period of time other than what people would usually perceive of the Illuminati or a Ouija board or anything, you know, basic surface level things. The only insight I ever got was when I got on my knees and asked to be shown what is the truth. Who are you, Father? You know, God. Who is God? And he led me on this journey to seeing the end time stuff, and then understanding more of the spiritual world and more of Him. I've not been to any kind of initiation place, or I haven't learned anything of the occult from books or anything. He literally has revealed the truth to me. That's all I can say, really. I've never kept it a secret that I was interested. And yeah, when you look back at some of the videos, you can see in my past, before I was saved, you can see how the spiritual world does influence things of any non-believer. And I even see sort of churches locally, some of their symbolism and stuff they use is very occult, of the occult nature, but it just uses people without them realizing sometimes.
Oh, absolutely. I just passed a church yesterday. I meant to take a picture of it, and outside they had a big sign with a big eye out in front of it, and I was just like, what? But I understand what you're saying, and I think it's easiest for us truthers now that are awake to what's going on to look back and say, okay, you're throwing up a 666 symbol with a white rabbit and all this, and it looks very damning because we have the eyes to see what's going on. But I mean, I can think back to when I was into heavy metal, rock, and I would go to concerts. I mean, I went and saw Pantera and White Zombie and stuff like that. Not, you know, just totally ignorant to what's going on, throwing the Baphomet signs, thinking it's a heavy metal sign, you know. So I can look back on that and go, man, I had no idea really what I was doing. And now that you're awake, and you look back now, somebody like awake who's look back and they see that stuff that I was doing, they'd be doing the same thing to me, you know. It's like
exactly.
All right, Ron Saturnzat, do you? Well, there was a claim that came out recently that for your separate website, you have certain merchandise for sale, and apparently, supposedly, currently, you have a male thong with your face on it for sale. Is that true?
Sorry?
Is that true? And if so,
Sorry,
why?
No, I'm just talking to the other person in the room. Sorry, one sec. I'm just trying to. Sorry about that. So yeah, so you're talking about the. Can you cut that out?
No, it's live, buddy.
It's live.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought we were recording.
No, man, we've been live.
Oh right, sorry. Yeah. So what the cafe press, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah,
Cafe press.
Let me pull it up here. Yep, Cafe Press.
Yeah, I saw someone talking. Basically, it's just all of these things, right? Can we please just get this straight? All of these things have just been blown so out of proportion, and this was all started by a couple of individuals who I'm not going to name, who literally just began this whole campaign of tarnishing this ministry. Because it's a smear campaign. We're fighting a spiritual war here, and these people have set about to do this. Basically, they're rooting through the whole of the internet and finding things that I had completely forgotten even existed from about 5 to 7 years ago, that I no longer have a card linked to, that I no longer even know the login of, that I've completely forgot even existed. Literally just 7 years old, 5 years old. Just things that I just, Sorry, I'm a bit stressed, man, because it's literally the last 4 days. If anyone thinks that a single channel is attacked with about 40 different accusations in about 4 days, and I don't think people quite sort of grasp the spiritual attack that is going on right now, perpetrated, as I said, by people who destroyed my community group on Facebook. They took down 800 people and ravished the whole thing. I've got evidence and IP addresses of who did it. Actually, that has been submitted to the police, and these people are literally just trying to destroy RSE.
Do you have a copy of the police report?
The police report? I've got
Yeah.
the. What do you mean? The police? I don't have a police report, but the police are going to actually. I can't say that on air, sorry, but yeah, literally, I've had to submit these. I can show you the IP address of the. I can show you the hacking. That I mean, there's literally 800 people that can witness to what happened in that group, and then soon afterwards.
Right, but if you
all of this
submitted a
happened.
police report, you should have a copy of it.
No, I haven't. I've got a card. Yes. What do you want? I can't obviously show people in public, but I can show you that if you want. I've got a agreement here, but I don't know even if I'm supposed to talk about that. But so, sorry, one sec. Sorry, man. I don't know what's going on. I'm literally getting phone calls all over the place and distractions.
That's all right. All right, let me.
It's just a nightmare. That's all I can say. It's just been an absolute. I mean, this is what they wanted anyway. This is why they did the whole thing. But I'm not going to stop making videos, and I'm not going to stop spreading the truth. No matter what they do, they're trying to crucify me in public. And at the end of the day, if people are fooled for that, then what can I say?
Let me switch gears here to. I know is kind of going to be a little bit of a sensitive topic, and I apologize for that. But the claims made against Peter Oakley.
Yeah.
Now, you have said in a couple different videos recently that he was not a master mason.
Yeah.
Do you continue to stand by that?
I just, for one, I can't believe I'm literally I mean, the guy's passed away. I can't believe that I'm having to talk about someone who's passed away for a start. It's just.
Well, you understand why people are curious of this, right?
Yeah, he's basically.
You understand the implied, problem with that, especially with how close you claim to be to the guy or have been to the guy.
How would you feel if you were grilled on people who have passed away? Literally, Peter Oakley, I met him on YouTube, and I met the Queen with him, and come on, man, literally just a YouTuber, not a master mason, and the claim.
So my point is, what I'm getting at is you still believe that he was not a master mason.
I don't believe anything. I don't know. I don't think so. No, but literally all I know is that he was a YouTuber, and he was in a band called the Zimmers, and that's what he was. That's all I knew about him, because we were just good friends who did YouTube videos together. Like, I went up to here. We used to do like YouTube gatherings when the community was early on, and that's what can I say? Sorry, I know I'm stumbling, but what can I say? It's just it's so. Like literally, this is how I feel. I feel like whatever I say, people won't believe me. So what can I even say anymore? Because whatever I say, in the back of my head, I'm thinking, oh, there's going to be a video saying that about what I said, or there's going to be a video, you know, twisting that. There is literally nothing to say. I just think it's absolutely horrendous how insensitive some Christians can be. That's all I can say. I mean, look at some people look too much into this stuff because they've lost sort of sensitivity to real situations and real emotion.
Do you not understand, do you not get why people are so on edge about this? I mean, you have some pretty significant things piled against you here.
Like I had an old friend, so that means he was a Mason because someone found a Masonic lodge with a name that was...
Somebody found out this guy was a Master Mason, all right, on top of all these other secrets that are coming to light here, you know? And here's another question. Why are these videos still on your other page?
Yeah, let me just finish the first one first. Peter Oakley... that accusation came from one of the individuals that started this whole thing off. They know that that is not the truth. They know that is not the truth. What you need to understand the nature of this. This is a spiritual attack from somebody who I basically rebuked what was going on, the spirit of Jezebel, and this is an attack, a direct attack as a result. So the first videos that went up were videos literally just absolute. I don't know if you've seen it, but the first videos that went up and kind of started this whole chain reaction were videos that were just absolutely full of I can't even describe it, man. I'm just so sad, and I'm sorry if I sound angry. I'm not angry. I'm just so stressed and so sad. I'm so sad.
So, why are those videos still up, man?
Right, so can we establish this point that Peter Oakley wasn't a Mason before we move on, please? Because I'm really getting sick of having to talk about that. It's just sad, man.
Here, can you see my screen?
Did you see the picture? Did you see the picture that supposedly was Peter Oakley at a Freemason lodge? It looks absolutely nothing like him.
Okay, I am currently on a cached version of Marian this Marian Lodge. Okay, this Masonic lodge here. It has the picture of this initiation where it is supposedly him, and another message that has gone out that says, "Best wishes to W. Bro Peter Oakley for his installation as Master of Marian Lodge this evening. Should be a great night." So not only do we have a picture that looks similar to the guy, but we have the exact name.
Well, as someone who knew Peter Oakley, I can tell you 100% that is not Peter Oakley. Again, it's really sad that we're having to talk about Peter after his death, but he was not a Master Mason. That is not evidence that he's a Master Mason. If he was a Master Mason, I didn't know it, and it doesn't matter anyway, because what does that even prove? But he's not a Master Mason. He was far too old in 2013 to be initiating in anything. He was literally weak, man. He was housebound. He lived in Derbyshire. He didn't live in Warwickshire. There's no way he would have been well enough to be going to Warwickshire. He was like his late 80s. I mean, look at his last video. He's weak. This is so. I can't believe people can't see that this is a smear campaign. The whole thing was started by individuals who I know, and I know lied, and I know why they did it, because I rebuked the Jezebel spirit that ripped through my whole community of 800 people, and started after that, turned on my character, because there are a group or a coven of about 5 or 6 people who on a daily basis do everything in their power to bring down RSE. And that's because RSE presents truth that steps on far too many toes.
Okay. Let's move to the Davey Boys channel. Okay?
Yeah.
Why are those videos still up? Now I understand that not all of them are horrible. Some of them are just harmless, whatever videos. But some of them are pretty darn occultic in nature. Why are they still up?
Which ones in particular do you mean? The
Justin Bieber one, for starters.
Justin Bieber is not occulted at all. That was actually done like probably, what was it, 5 years ago now, I think, around that. I can tell you for sure that that video was not intended to be occulted in any way. The only 666 sign that people have pointed out, I didn't know what that was back then. I thought it meant okay.
Yeah, but dude, come on. You know how demonic manifestation works.
Yeah, honestly, man, if people do do that hand symbol and aren't awake, then I wouldn't think that they meant 666 by it. The reason I did that.
You also got reptilian eyes and a white rabbit you're rolling around on the ground with. I mean, that's pretty damn occultic.
The reptilian eyes were just part of the beaver costume, man. That's all. It's nothing to do with snakes or anything. It's literally just a comedy about a beaver pretending to be Justin Bieber. It's not occulted. Literally, I don't know how else to explain it, because the white rabbit meant nothing. I didn't mean that to be. I didn't know what a white rabbit was in those terms. In that case, why is your name White Rabbit?
Why was he included in the video to begin with, then?
Why is your channel name White Rabbit if you know the rabbit hole's evil?
I'm not on trial here, buddy. I've explained that in other videos.
Am I on trial though? I honestly, why am I on trial? Why should I be on trial? I don't understand. Because we know for a fact that people, penetrate these groups, and we're trying to make sure that you're legit before we go on, continuing to support you. Okay, well, I had a white rabbit in the video for the same reason. Why is your white rabbit? Why are you White Rabbit?
That's not really the same thing. White Rabbit's bait is known why his channel's named White Rabbit. It is for the fact that, well, I know a little more behind the scenes of why it is that way, but it's more comical. But we know the cult is behind.
Exactly, and that's what the Justin Bieber is. It's just a comedy. It's not.
Well, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying White Rabbit knows the cult behind the White Rabbit, and he's exposing the cult. Now you're doing that, but you're saying you had no idea what the White Rabbit meant then. But when you throw the 666 along with that, I mean, that's a pretty big coincidence, is what everybody's saying,
Yeah, and, as I said, it's just.
So it's either you didn't know, and there really was. You say you was messing with a cult, and maybe knowing it or not, you had some demonic influence, and maybe you really didn't know what he's doing. Maybe there was some influence there, and you're dabbling with the occult then.
I wasn't dabbling with the occult then, but I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the synchronicity thing. That's all it is. It's like, as I say, there are churches locally that, they've got really occult. Synchronicity is just ridiculous. The symbolism with the name of the group is just like, wow. How do they not?
I totally agree with you, and you know, I've gone and exposed and talked about those churches, and especially the 501c stuff, and you know, these sellout churches that water down the Word of God and stuff. You know, I'm very well aware of what's going on in the churches these days. And that doesn't, but that's, you know, we're talking about you and, you know, not.
Well, but it's just human beings, isn't it? It manifests in ways that people don't even realise, and that I can't believe that.
I guess what we're asking, if you know now that stuff, what it means, and the image is portraying towards you, why not just get rid of it and say, okay, I see what that means now. Whether you thought it meant that then or not, I guess we're asking why leave it up.
Yeah, when people first pointed out the white rabbit in it, I actually didn't even think about that until just a couple of days ago when people said, "Oh, there's a white rabbit and he's doing that hand signal." I mean, it literally is just it's just that way. As for why I haven't taken it down, firstly, I'm not taking it down because everyone's saying, you know, a few channels are saying take it down. Then what happens? Everyone turns around and says, "Oh, see, he was hiding something. Now he's taking it down." As I say, whatever I do, I can't win. So I'm stuck. I'm always stuck in these situations, and the people that have instigated this are probably laughing because they like people to be in this position, and I'm in this position because of the truth on RSE. That is why I'm in this position, because they've backed me into a corner where I can't win whatever I do, and that's why when I make videos now, I have to take a long time over wording things in a way that won't be twisted, and that's their game. But as for another reason why I haven't taken it down is because I've put a banner, a pop-up at the end of every video on Davy Boys now, which leads to my testimony. So why ruin an audience that have never heard any of this truth stuff or the truth of Christ? I'm using it for a good purpose, and that's the way I've been challenged by God. That's the way I've been challenged by our Father, to use this as an opportunity. I'm not going to bow down to the demands of YouTubers who say, unless you take it down, we're going to torture you day by day. I don't work like that. I'm not. Why should I bow to threats about content that can be used to lead people to Christ now? And as for the revenue on there, I'm going to have to contact the people that originally were on there 7 years ago, because that's what it was part of back then. So it's not very simple, but literally £30 a month. £30 a month. I live in a one-bedroom flat on my own. £30 a month. But the thing is, right now, I'm having to try and save money very rapidly because of the amount of danger that I feel like I'm in now, because of everyone's just jumped on this. I don't know whether it's just been to get views or what, but some people have just jumped on this whole gravy train that was started by my enemies, and I literally, all that's really been exposed is my safety. That's the only thing that's really been affected, is that now I feel incredibly unsafe. And I'm sure you guys, you know, exposing some of the things you do too, I'm sure you'd feel the same. How would you feel if this was you? Literally now, you know, some of the things I've exposed, guys, is stuff that Rick Clay exposed much less, and I believe was targeted, and his life was taken. So I am not an insider by any means. I have no protection whatsoever. I have to bolt my door every night and hope now, because my town is very visible now, and my face and my identity, and I need to rapidly get out of this place. That's how I feel right now.
All right. Well, are there any closing statements you'd like to make, RSE?
I think it's absolutely sick, to be honest. Some of the things that have been said, I just think are absolutely sick. And that's not to say I'm being affected in any way before certain people sort of get ideas to spur this on further, because I know that is the goal. I feel absolutely sick. I feel sick that there's still a video, White Rabbit, on one of your rabbit hole channel that accuses me of putting a craziness into the truth movement because I suffer from a mental health disorder. I mean, that is absolutely what? Literally allowing my mental health disorder to be used as a form of attack, and you haven't even taken it down. I mean, I'm a human being. This is what I was saying about, have people lost their sensitivity? Like, that's my mental health disorder. I didn't choose that.
I think people are just in a position where we don't know what to think anymore.
Yeah, I literally think people have lost their sensitivity because I'm a human being with real feelings, and people are literally using that and going that low. And it's, as I say, it's, you acknowledged earlier that it's not very nice, is it? Really? And you know, my past is my past. My past issues that I struggled with, which are no longer in my life. That's my past. My mental health is something I can't control.
Well, I just really believe that's what everybody's looking to hear from you, RC. I mean, obviously, a lot of people look to your channel for answers. You have a big following, and these people just want to feel like they're not being misled or betrayed in a way, and that's what it comes down to. In being the position you're in and having the impact that you've had, you're going to get this kind of attention, you know, and you know we've not been in the position you have at this point, but you know, White Rabbit's been attacked. You know, even my little channel, you know, I only have 3,000 subs. You know, I get attacked. You know, anybody in this position, this truther movement is just.
Yeah, I understand that, but you have to understand that over the past 4 days, I've had the memory of my friend, my memorabilia video, and his memory in general just being desecrated before my eyes. My memory video for him being pulled apart, saying that he, you know, all sorts of horrible claims and things about it all, which is just, you know, he's deceased. My mental health is being branded around like a cheap trick. What else?
And that is horrible. If none of those claims about your friend are true,
no, they're not. As I said, they were started by people who knew what they were doing. These are people that took down my community group and deleted 800 people. They're part of a gang stalking network. They all work together. There's about 5 or 6 of them. I know most of their names on YouTube, identities. I have involved the police on some things because they are making violent threats to me. There are a group wolfing sheep online. There was a satanic website saying that they want to wolf sheep online, and it's all about the bishop circle. At the end of the day, we're exposing the occult. There are covens after causing massive chaos in the truth movement, you know, slandering people and destroying people. That's the nature of the spiritual battle we're dealing with. And I appreciate, you know, general questions, but when it gets to the point of saying that I've been added to the truth movement to make it seem crazy, is just an outright slander attempt. There's nothing more to say about that, really. That's just outright evil and mean. That's not even constructive anymore.
Well, I think that at this point, the best approach would probably be for everyone to just kind of take a step back, pray about this issue. If you are telling the truth and if you are a genuine, honest guy, then we pray that this all gets sorted out for you. And I think we'll just probably end it there.
All right, man. Cheers for the chat anyway, and honestly, no hard feelings. Any kind of anger or upset I feel is just merely frustration. I'm not. I don't hate anyone. I don't hate you, and I don't hate the people that have done this. I don't hate them, and vengeance is the Lord's. But I'm not going to name and shame. It's really sad. It's really sad because people have to understand what we're exposing here, and 40 accusations in 4 days. I mean, that's a clear sign there's something going on. And yeah, sorry, man. God bless. God bless all you guys.
All right, man. God bless.